Hello, everybody, and welcome back live to the World Racing Network once again this week for tonight's broadcast of the National Sim Racing Association Beer Street Journal Grand National Series here, racing tonight at Kansas for the AnythingEC.com 120. You're glad to have Anything EC on board sponsoring tonight's race, and we'll talk more about them as we get into the broadcast. I'm Mitchell Adams. Joining me in the booth, as always, is Tyler Belanger. And Tyler, the last couple weeks we've had some short track racing. It's been very good now. Getting back onto the 1.5 miles. We're Speedway racing again. These drivers are going to have to get used to it again here tonight.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a test, but in the sense of going from a short track to a 1.5 miles, this will actually be a pretty good track as far as similar strategy. Kansas is they're pretty much a dominant track on the high lane. You can make some moves down on that low lane, but really the preferred line all the way around is the high lane. So track position will be key. It is very difficult to pass here. So I think you're going to see some of these guys who probably did really well at the short tracks continue to do well tonight, even though this is a 1.5 miles. With it being so difficult to pass, you'll see a lot of drivers really start to get impatient. They got to kind of throw some slide jobs to make some of these moves. So might see some tempers get flaring a little bit in tonight's race, but I'm excited to call a 1.5 mile track.
Yeah, it's going to be really good here. Kansas, great 1.5 miles for putting on good racing here on the iRacing service. Great multi-groove track is what it's become more recently. In the past, it's always been highline dominant, and it still is sometimes, but we've seen more and more recently iRacing's done work on making some tracks more multi-groove racing friendly, and that's just what Kansas kind of is. As you see practice going on right now on the track, about 15 seconds left in practice here from the Kansas Speedway. Looking at some fast drivers out there, a couple of the same names we've been talking about. The 17 of Adam Pettit in the Anything EC car, currently fastest in practice here. Jason Gracias, been looking at him. He's second fast, and Ira Kohlhaas in the number 29 machine, third fastest in practice. As you see there, checkered flag is out, and we are going to roll into qualifying here in the Anything EC 120 here from the Kansas Speedway, race number 5 of the season. I'll go ahead and check on your point standings here, let you know who is leading the points as we get rolling over into qualifying.
Real quick side note, the chat in the stream is subscribers only mode right now, so I am not able to talk to our fans that are watching right now.
How did I leave that on? I might have. I was playing around trying to keep those darn bots out of the chat, and that was one thing I was playing around with, and I think it will keep
that was
them
a
out.
little bit of a problem last week.
I will turn it off, and we will see if we don't have the same issues we were having. So keep your fingers crossed, folks. But
with you saying that this track has become a little bit more of a multi-groove, I'll be curious to see how some of these guys tackled this for qualifying. If they do ride around on the high lane, or if they try to utilize cutting those corners and shooting down to the bottom a little bit.
yeah, in qualifying, it can be a little bit of a mixed bag. You never quite know. You see Jason Gracias in the number 1 machine working the low line on his first lap of qualifying right now. 49 Dr. Pepper machine of Bryce Hunter out fastest on the chart. I take it back. It's Julian Tesoro in the number 92 and Jason Gracias in the 1. You know, I'm learning that I should just stop calling out who's leading qualifying when everyone comes through the first lap, because all these drivers just come around and they shake it up, and I always say, okay, this driver's out in front. Oh no, now it's this driver. So these drivers all fast.
That one of Jason Gracias definitely were in the low line in both of these. Let's see if this lap right here improves on his second time around. And it does not. So his first lap was his fastest of a 31.167, which is about almost a tenth slower than his practice lap. So we'll see if that holds. Right now, everybody seems to be running a little slower. I imagine draft had something to do with some of those lap times in practice. So we're seeing these qualifying laps a little slower. We'll see if Jason is able to hang on. He was second fastest in practice, so wouldn't be surprised to see him catch the pole here tonight.
Yeah, Jason Gracias currently sits on top of the chart. One driver trying to take it away here is the number 17 of Adam Pettit, who's been fast all season long. Started really race 2 at Homestead when he dominated the last mile and a half track we've been to. Went on to the short tracks, didn't get a win while we were in the short tracks, but 2 strong runs, second place at Rockingham, that's the name of the track. And then Iowa was up there in the top 5 a lot of the night as well. So Pettit coming back onto the mile and a half is going to be looking strong here. Last week's race winner, Nate Maurer, just finished up his qualifying run. Currently sits 7th place. Mike Tellier in the 47 sits 4th at the moment on the speed charts. The 17 of Pettit jumped up to 5th. Here's Justin White out on the racetrack cooking some laps. He is on his 2nd lap right now in that grinds machine. Currently sits 10th on the board, and Justin White's a driver who's had some good solid races here to start the season. Just looking to maybe get up a little bit more toward the front, mix it up around the top 5. Great race car driver is Justin White, so I'll be watching him here today as we'll see what kind of lap time he puts down. Second time around, that one's not going to beat the first one, so Justin White will stay in the 10th position. Jeff Price, last driver on track. He just finished up his laps. They're doing a little burnout for us as he sits 14th, number 14 and 14th.
Yeah, and going back to Patient Pettit, I talked to him after the race last week. We saw him real fast in practice and qualify on the pole, and he just did not have the speed in the race. He really struggled with the tight car all night long. His reason for that was there was a dramatic change in the track temperature from practice and qualifying to the race. It dropped like 30 degrees, he was saying, so that made his setup really, really tight. So he's going to be paying attention to those temps on the track, I imagine, this week, seeing if he needs to make any adjustments for this race and have a bounce-back week, because he has been one of the favorites all season so far, and we just didn't quite see that out of him last week. He was just a touch off of his normal speed, so he's definitely going to want to rebound today.
Yeah, and Kansas in a mile and a half in general, a completely different tire-saving beast than Iowa is, that you have to race them really differently. As you see Noah Owens get cut off, didn't quite get that second lap time in here as we're rolling into gridding, but yeah, it's completely different. Like you said, a lot of short run pace, but just struggled to make it work in the race for him, and so hopefully this week he'll be able to get a little more up front. It's gonna start 6th this week. Not to say he didn't have a bad run at Iowa, but definitely gonna be looking for a little bit more here tonight, as we will take you through your starting order here tonight in the anythingec.com 120 at Kansas Speedway. Starting on the pole is going to be the 41 of Matt Donnelly, who's a driver who had a very strong run last week as well at Iowa. A lot of pace in that machine. Then it's the 1 car of Jason Gracia starting in 2nd place. 75 of Josh Sobel going to roll off in 3rd. Mike Floppy Tellier in the 47 going to start 4th. And 5th is Nick Kessler in the Taz Racing Customs machine. Then it's the 17 anythingec.com machine of Adam Pettit rolling off 6th. 77 Doug Neal starts 7th. Julian Tesoro rolls off 8th. Philip Scott 9th. And last week's race winner Nate Maurer is going to start 10th.
Yeah, and then rounding out in 11th, we got Justin White. 12th, Brock Salvati. 13th, Bryce Hunter. 14th, Alexander Kerfon. 15th, Jeff Price. 16th, Ira Kohlhaas. 17th, Chris Wheeler. 18th, Steven. Not even going to try to pronounce that last name. 19th place, Noah Owens. And 20th, we got Ben Mashburn.
And then rounding out your field in 21st is Patrick Morrison. 22nd, Sam Kohlhaas. The 19 of Christopher Thompson's going to roll off in 23rd. 24th is Jason Shue. And rounding out your 25-car field here tonight is Daniel Anderson. I believe it is also Stephen Lachensky rolling off in the 18th position. Don't want to leave the name out. I believe that is how you pronounce it here. Is pace car rolling out of pit road, going to take Matt Donnelly and the rest of the field here toward the green flag. It should be quite the show here from the Kansas Speedway. 80 laps in the Anything EC 120, and everyone out there in chat, who are you all rooting for here tonight? Who do you think's going to take home the win? Let us know in the chat. We'll see if anybody can guess it right here.
Tell you one thing, these drivers are going to have to be really careful of tonight. Assuming most of them ride this high line tonight, the most speed is right up against that wall. And this track, especially once you get about 10-15 laps in and you have to adjust the let-off points, you have to be real careful on entry. You can put it up in that wall pretty easy and knock the wheels out of alignment or just give yourself aero damage. Aerodynamics are going to be really important here tonight. You're going to get a pretty good draft on cars down the back stretch and front stretch, so they're definitely not going to want to get into the wall early and cause themselves some damage that they'll have to lose time on pit road to repair.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be careful when you run up that close to the wall. As iRacing pace car going to pull down pit road. Number 41, Matt Donnelly, going to lead him to the green flag here at the Kansas Speedway. There's the green flag waving in the air. On the loud pedal goes Matt Donnelly, but Jason Gracias gets a very good start also in that outside line. In that number 1 machine, we'll see if he can use the momentum out there. Oh, what a run from Gracias through turns 1 and 2. He is going to get to the race lead over Donnelly.
Yeah, you can see Donnelly took it real easy. Probably wanted to start on that high lane. We'll see the leaders probably pick that high lane on the rest of the restarts from here, as that one car is able to roll to the middle of the track and really just get that run off the corner. And he is going to lead lap number 1 on tonight's race in Kansas.
3 wide through the front tri-oval was the 47 of Mike Tellier, the 6 of Nick Kessler, and I believe the 75 Josh Sobel. Mike Tellier going to nose in front of those two, leave the 6 and 75 while they were battling, not anymore, into 3 and 4. Kessler going to take that position also. Behind them, though, they've got a great little battle. The 17 of Adam Pettit trying to work the outside lane once again. Here, as you see, surrounded by Simbox racing machines into turn number 1, the 77 of Doug Neal and the 971 of Nate Maurer, both right there with him in their cars. The 95, also Alexander Kerfan, right there battling with these drivers. I like that Kerfan scheme. All 3 of them are blue and white right next to each other. That's a broadcaster's worst nightmare when you've got 3 cars running right next to each other, all with similar color schemes.
Really, even the 95 kind of blends in with them. But Adam Pettit, he fell back a few spots in that restart. I'm not sure what exactly happened to him, if he just got caught up in traffic or just didn't get a good launch. But he seems to be struggling a little bit on that high lane. You see the 95 pull up to him in that corner. He had a lift in the middle of the turn right there. So looks like that low line's working pretty well right now here on this short run. I do expect as those tires wear, though, more and more these guys are going to slide up to the top of the track as the 977 of Nathan Maurer, last week's winner, slides up in front of Adam Pettit.
Yep, Nate Maurer going to try and take that spot away. Pettit looking back to the inside, though, not going to be able to get there. Into turn number 1, the 95 of Alexander Kerfan going to jump up the inside lane underneath the 17 of Pettit here down the back straightaway. The 97 also here in this battle, that's Brock Salvati. He's making his way up through the field, or trying to. And also in this battle, Ira Kohlhaas in the 29, third fastest in practice, but started 16th. So Kohlhaas with a fast race car, but with ground to make up in the early going.
Yeah, definitely a little bit. Looking back out front, we got the one car, Jason Rossi, is still leading the field. That gap to Matt Donnelly has not changed at all these last couple laps. He is sitting steady at 0.15 seconds right behind him, with Mike Tellier closing in on 3rd place, getting a little bit of draft off that 41. He's probably going to get up there and look to make a move. Track position is everything here, so anytime a driver sees somebody in front of them slip up, they're going to look to pounce and make that pass, knowing how hard it is to pass here.
Got the 99 of Philip Scott marching his way up through the field. Started 9th up to 6th and hounding the 75 of Josh Sobel down the front straightaway, now the back straightaway. That 99 looking fast, and Philip Scott, one of those drivers who really had a good time on our little short track swing. Won Rockingham, almost won at Iowa, had debatably maybe the best car, if not the best car. So the 99 had a lot of speed there, looking to transfer that over as we head back into the speedways right now. tried to slide up maybe in front of the 75, but a good run for Sobel. Gonna let him get out in front and bring the 92 of Julian Tesoro up into this battle. So good battles all through the field in the early going, and the battle hasn't gone away either here for the 10th position. The 17 of Adam Pettit managed to scoot away a little bit from the cars behind him, but they're still going at it for the 11th position, led by Doug Neal in the 77, bumper to bumper, running that high lane. And like we've said, it's just so difficult. You see Doug Neal kind of arc it down. Some drivers will hold it up on the wall. It's very difficult here at Iowa for sure to get that lane right, because just one mistake, Tyler, if you fall asleep on one lap and get up into that wall, can ruin your race.
Yeah, not only that, but it's a momentum track. So if you mess up the entry, you got a long straightaway or backstretch, depending on what turn you're in, that you can really lose a lot of speed. Looking at Alexander, though, in the 95, he's up 5 positions into the top 10. He started back in 14th. He's sitting pretty in 9th. We did have a pass. Oh, now we got a caution out. I was about to say we had a pass. Mike Tellier had completed the pass for second, and then Matt Donnelly had gotten it back. Be curious to see what brought out this yellow here.
Yeah, we'll take a look back at it here on our World Racing Network replay, and I think I talked about Ira Kohlhaas having a fast car here. Unfortunately, might be a little bit of commentator's curse in the early goings of the Anything EC 120. There is the 38 of Chris Wheeler looking up the inside of Kohlhaas. Kohlhaas got a little loose, and man, that rear end popped up when they made contact.
Yeah, that's probably going to be quite a bit of damage for the 29. He brushed the wall a little bit, came down, and there was just nowhere that the other guy could go. Maybe not too bad on damage, but it really depends on what the physics did, the way that car popped up. That could be pretty significant. Might have to use fast repair here early, which is definitely not what you want to do, as the track position's so hard that as this race goes on and people get less and less patient, you can definitely expect some more bumping and grinding. But it appears he's going to try to fix the car manually on pit road from what I'm seeing. But I'm watching your replay. That was that car really bunny hopped off the rear end.
It really did. It was some interesting physics iRacing just gave us here. But, I mean, that happens occasionally here. It's not out of the ordinary, I believe. We'll take a look and see. Here he is, our Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Award winner. First one of the night, Daniel Anderson in the number 36, running 25th right now. Was 3 laps down, now 2 down, thanks to Brookstone Animal Hospital. I caught one. I'm on a good streak here, Tyler. I got the first one. We'll see if I can keep it up through the rest of the broadcast, which is what we'll see if Jason Gracias can keep it up, because he was doing a great job on that very first run. A lot of speed in that car, but we'll see what happens with the tire strategy, because we did have a mixed bag under that caution. First through 10th all stayed out. Then behind them, everyone except for Ben Mashburn pitted, led by the 971 of Nate Maurer, last week's race winner, and he won it off a strategy call last week, or more staying out late, caught a caution that got him the lead, and he never really looked back until the Beer Street Journal last calls, but managed to fend off Philip Scott for the race win. And right now, he's the contrarian on strategy early to your race leaders, along with quite a few other drivers.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how everybody's able to work through the field, that pit. They do have 4 sets of tires tonight, so it was kind of probably a coin flip on deciding if you were going to pit and take tires there. We were only 11 laps into the run when that caution came out. So definitely some strategy coming into play here, but they should have plenty sets of tires tonight. I don't anticipate a lot of cautions happening. Could be wrong, but it's always good to make sure you save a set for the end. But you know, there was only 11 laps on, so I don't know if there's going to be too much tire fall off. I don't imagine the leaders were pressing too hard, probably expecting a longer green flag run to start the race, as we've seen the last few weeks. So you got 10 cars, though, that those guys that just pitted are going to have to pass. So that's going to be difficult on this track. So this might be a pretty good strategy call for these guys who stayed out.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see really how much that tire wear is. This run will be a really good sign of how important those fresh Goodyear tires are gonna be. Looking out in the chat, we have Rich Sobel saying good evening to the announcers. Hello, good evening to you as well, Rich. Hope you're doing well. Out in the chat also, we've got Vacara rooting on Matt Donnelly. Rich is cheering on Josh Sobel, his son. Will Radcliffe picking Philip Scott for tonight's race. And Mr. Taz Racing Customs himself, Nick Kessler, gonna pick Nick Kessler for the race win. Not surprising. I'd pick myself if I were out here. And of course, the 6th of Kessler running 4th right now. Very fast race car for him here tonight. Another driver definitely need to watch. Of course, Taz Racing Customs on the hood, a sponsor of the National Sim Racing Association. So we'll see if Nick Kessler in that number 6 machine can't go mix it up with these leaders as pace car lights off, and we're going to be going back green this lap.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what the 41 does here. You got Jason Gracias picking the low lane as the leader. That is what the 41 did on this green flag drop of the race, and it did not work out for him at all. So he's going to get an opportunity here to see what this high lane can do for him if he is leading towards the end of this race and to make a tough decision on which lane to start in.
Oh, Taz Racing Customs corrected me. It's his son, Nick Kessler. I apologize. I mixed you two up. I'm sorry about that. Either way, though, pace car going down pit road. Jason Gracias on the gas pedal early here. And trouble behind him. I don't know who that was back there that had a little bit of a wiggly incident back there.
Yeah, it looked like those leaders stacked up the field a little bit, and it was just a chain reaction from there on back. That's really going to spread the field out. It did not help Matt Donnelly in the 41 at all either. He got a really bad restart on that. He's under fire by the 47 of Mike Tellier, looking to make a pass for second for the second time tonight, and he does go ahead and clear him, as you got the 6 who's right behind the 41 as well, who's looking to make any opportunity to get another spot or two at the drop of this restart.
Yeah, Matt Donnelly driving the Volvo Ford. I just noticed that. I never noticed. We've got a Volvo-sponsored Ford in the race here tonight. I don't know if there's any connection between Ford and Volvo, but that's just a little something interesting to keep our eye on here, as well as Nick Kessler putting Matt Donnelly under fire here. Donnelly, your pole sitter, running 3rd right now. Strong run, but there goes Kessler looking up the outside lane down the front straightaway. Will he have the momentum through the tri-oval? And remember, here at Kansas, you can cut down below that white line. You're going to see drivers do it a lot here tonight, just like the 41 of Donnelly did that time down the front straightaway. No out of bounds like at Daytona or Talladega, so anywhere's fair game here as Nick Kessler gonna steal that position away from Matt Donnelly here. Set his sights on Hello Kitty Machines number 47 of Mike Tellier, who's doing his best to run down Jason Gracias, but right now Gracias doing a great job after this restart.
Yeah, and something I noticed is all these guys on older tires are migrating up the track. You're not really seeing anybody run the low lane right now. They're all running up high. To go back in the field a little bit, somebody who really lost a lot of positions on that restart was the 17 of Adam Pettit. He's sitting 16th right now. He was as far back as 18th. So he definitely did not get a good draw of the sticks there on that restart. I think he was like 13th and dropped about 5 spots. So look for him on those fresh tires to try to make his way back up through the field. But not a good start to the race so far for him.
Yeah, Pettit, one of those drivers who pitted under the last caution, took 4 fresh tires, so we'll see if he can't march his way up through the field in the Anything EC machine. Right now, like you said, running 14th.
In the wall on the backstretch a little bit. I lost him a little bit of time. Doug Neal. He scraped the wall, lost some time.
He's battling side by side with that 95 of Alexander Kerfan, too. We've seen a lot of them running by each other. He's gotten away from him now, and Kerfan under fire from the Dr. Pepper 49 of Bryce Hunter, another Simbox machine, I do believe, is the 49. Up front, though, battle for second place is going on between the 47 of Mike Tellier and 971 of Nate Maurer. Nate Maurer taking a lot of advantage of those fresh tires he has on that race car. Put last week's race winner up to second place now as they cross the start-finish line. And The battle for third now going to start raging as the 47 under fire from the Taz Racing Customs, number 6 of Kessler, 14 of Jeff Price, Sim Shots Racing Machine also up there, taking it 3 wide down the back straightaway.
Yeah, the 41 of Matt Donnelly on that last lap. He got up into the wall, went from 5th to 11th as Adam Pettit has now moved his way back into the top 10, all the way back from 18th. Those fresh tires really starting to pay off. I think the 41, though, has some issues after hitting the wall. He has dropped back now to, I believe, 12th place. And just a lap ago, he was up in the top 5. So he probably has a little bit of damage after getting into the wall a little bit there. Combined with all of these guys on fresh tires, he's not finding himself
contact.
in position right now.
The 49, I don't know how he saved that one. Great driving by the 47 of Bryce Hunter as he comes back up on the track. Oh my goodness, what a moment.
That's not going to make other drivers happy. You can't drive like that.
No, not at all.
You got to be more careful. You can't slide up, cross 3 lanes in the middle of a turn when you're 40 miles per hour slower. He's going to lose a ton of time here outside of the top 15. I didn't see what happened with the contact, but he's definitely fallen way back, and now he's stuck with some of these guys on fresher tires, and he's on old ones, so we'll see if he's able to rebound from this at all.
Yeah, just, I think, came up a little bit too far into the 47 of Mike Tellier. Managed to keep it straight. Tellier did a good job, though, keeping his car. I don't think he really got too sideways because of that one, but the 49 machine, he said if there was somebody right there when he came back up on track, there would be a lot of angry drivers after that one.
Almost cleaned out one of them.
3 wide down the back straightaway is the 49 taking it. He's not afraid after that one, going right back at it. Of course, dropped from well inside the top 10 now down to the 18th position. Oh,
boy, he's really pressured. Dude, he went 3 wide on the Highland. He really squeezed that car below him. I can't see the number.
Chris Wheeler in the 38.
He definitely knows he needs to make that ground up here pretty quick. And it doesn't look like he's being very patient about it. So we're going to want to keep an eye on him and see if he might run into any issues here.
Yeah, so far, really aggressive side-by-side racing back here. They keep it clean. Let's check a little bit further back up in the field now. Battle for the 9th place position held by Josh Sobel currently. But it's the 99 of Philip Scott and the 47 of Mike Floppy Tellier trying to take it away from him here. They all running up in the higher lane, or Scott and Sobel are. Mike Tellier trying to work the inside lane, but to no avail down the back straightaway. And I'm noticing those darn bots in my chat again. I think I gotta go turn subscriber only mode back on. I am sorry, but that is what keeps them out, I think. I'm researching. But I mean, it's a great chance to remind you that if you're not subscribed to the World Racing Network, definitely go hit that red subscribe button down there. But I will go do that so they stop bothering us in our race here tonight.
Tell you what, Nathan Maurer in the 971 is checked out now that he got that lead. He's looking to go back-to-back this week. He's got a 1.1 second lead over Jeff Price. Shout out to Jeff Price. Started 15th. He's all the way up to 2nd place tonight. We haven't mentioned his name a lot. He's doing really well in that 14.
Yeah, Jeff Price, I've raced as his teammate for a long time now as well. I raced with Jeff a long time here in the National Sim Racing Association. Great driver. Hasn't had the chance this season so far to show too much of himself. But right now, here tonight, on those fresh tires, just like Nate Maurer, running in 2nd place. 17 of Adam Pettit also worked his way up into the 3rd position on fresher tires. Just got around Jason Gracias in the 1. So Pettit having a really good rebound here. We'd highlighted him down outside the top 15 when they, not too long after they restarted. Pettit already back up onto the podium. Of course, lap 30 of 80, still a lot of laps left to go here in the Anything EC 120.
Yeah, he's really moved his field quick. It was about 10 laps ago. He was all the way back in 18th, and now he's up to 3rd. Those tires are really starting to pay off now. He should have no issue tracking down our leader if this stays green. He's about 2.1 seconds back now, so I'm going to keep an eye on him and see how quickly he just gained 0.2 that lap. He's going to be there pretty quick if this thing stays green for sure. He's running that high lane all the way up against the wall.
Battle for 6th place is what we're looking at on your screen right now. The number 6 machine, Nick Kessler, trying to take it away from Doug Neal. Squeezed Doug up into the outside wall just a little bit. Kessler going to take the spot away there. Down the back straightaway, move him up to 6th. Justin White, I talked about him before the broadcast, is someone who really great driver, looking to put together a solid run here. Currently runs 5th, started 11th, so Justin White having a great start to the Anything EC 120 in his number 2 machine here as we are past the 1/3 way mark in the race. Fastest lap currently, if anybody is curious, held by the number 99 machine of Philip Scott, who we haven't seen too much of in terms of battling for the lead this week, but Scott been battling up a lot inside the top 10, top 5, currently running 9th, just a little bit off the pace because of those older tires, and those drivers that took fresh tires, they seem to be at the advantage right now. Your top 3 all on fresher tires, and inside the top 10, there are only 4 drivers who did not pit under that last caution.
Yeah, you got both Jeff Price and Adam Pettit, who have really taken a big chunk out of the lead of Nathan Maurer. You got Jeff 7/10 back and Adam Pettit about double that, 1.3. So this battle for the lead is going to be heating up here in the next 5 laps. Adam's about to the point where he should be catching the draft of Jeff, and they might be able to use that and work together to catch the leader.
Well, and Jeff Price is running down Nate Maurer just a little bit here as well. Was about almost a 10th faster that last lap, about 0.8 of a second faster, 0.7-ish, if my quick mental math is kind of in the ballpark correct. We'll see this next time by how fast of a lap Jeff Price able to put down as well. Fast as the last lap was Adam Pettit. This time it's going to be Justin White in the 2 machine running the fastest lap on the racetrack. So all these top 5 very fast, and Jason Gracias, the lone driver in the top 5 who has yet to pit, he's going to be under fire from the 2 of Justin White here pretty soon. White looking very fast.
Yeah, these guys that stayed out on that first caution, they're going to be hoping to catch a yellow here in probably about the next 10 laps. You got about 50 laps of fuel in the car when you start the race and fill the tank up. So we're on lap 35 now. If they see this where they hit green flag pit stops and those guys that took tires last time stay out for those 10 or 12 laps, they're going to be kind of stuck in a position where they're going to want that green flag to stay out the rest of the race. So if they want the strategy to play out right, they're definitely going to be looking for a caution in the next 10 or so laps.
Well, and do you think we might see some drivers pitting soon then? Because if their fuel mileage is 50 laps, they're within the window to get to the end of the race, and in just 4 laps, you've got the halfway point, or do you think they might run it out just a little longer?
Well, if I'm one of those guys sitting outside the top 10 and I'm on old tires, there's nothing wrong with swinging for the fence. Go ahead and pit as soon as you open up that window. You know you'll have plenty of tire sets left, and you got other people that are going to probably follow you in, if not immediately, within the next 10 laps. So it's not a bad strategy at all, especially since you got about 15 of these guys that pitted on that first caution. You'll really jumble up the field there. But yeah, if you're sitting outside the top 10, I see nothing wrong with in these next couple laps. I mean, really, they could pit now and make it from here. So I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody pull that strategy. That's definitely something I'd try if I was sitting back there right now.
Well, then you have to throw in the other side of it. Last week, Nate Maurer won the race off staying out a little bit longer and caught the caution, went on to have enough speed in that race car, held on to the lead for the rest of the race. Of course, he's currently leading the race right now on those, well, we say fresher tires. He's been on them 27 laps now, so they're not fresh anymore, but about 10 laps fresher than anybody else on the racetrack except for those drivers who pitted. Jeff Price got loose out of 2. That's going to open the door for the 17 of Pettit to take away the second position into 3 and 4. He is going to do it. Move Pettit up into the second position. Going to set his sights on Nate Maurer. About 1 second back, though. And Jeff Price, very fast still. I don't expect Jeff to fall off of the 17.
Yeah, Adam lost a little bit of time making that pass after the 14 slipped up. But Adam Pettit appears to be lap after lap the fastest car on track right now. So look for him to get up there and make a move on Nathan. You had mentioned that these guys, all three of these guys, had pitted, so they can really go quite a ways here. They're probably keeping an eye on this field to see if some of those guys dip down pit road. Their strategy's already worked out. They gained all the track position they needed. So if they see some of those guys who haven't pitted yet dip down pit road, expect for them to follow, because they're not going to want to give that time back that they've already gained. Even if you're one of the top 3 leaders right now and you decided to short pit right here, that's a really good strategy that'll put a lot of pressure on these other guys, especially if it's going to stay green.
Yeah, we will have to wait and see what they do, because if you can make it to the end, at what point do you pit just to cover tires, or do you run longer because you can and then have the fresher tires later? It's the debate drivers always have. Do you want to pit now or pit later and then have fresher tires?
I can tell you now, the 47 of Mike Tellier just announced over the radio he is pitting in. So, oh, and he missed pit road. He missed pit road. That is going to be devastating. He's going to go all the way back around the track. He is not up to speed. He's going to lose a ton of time. That is really unfortunate.
And we'll take a look back at it here on the World Racing Network replay. The 6 of Nick Kessler is down pit road. You see Mike just got a little bit loose on the apron, maybe trying to get down pit road. Lost control of it just enough.
Yeah. He missed his braking point. He could have made it down pit road, but he knew it would have been a stop and go speed and penalty. So he probably made the only good choice he can make there and decided to stay out and go one more lap around so he wouldn't get caught speeding. But that's really unfortunate for him. He's going to need to catch a break here pretty quick, because probably going to go a lap down now.
A lot of other drivers also down pit road. Adam Pettit, Jason Gracias, Josh Sobel, Philip Scott, Julian Tesoro, Matt Donnelly, and of course Mike Tellier all down pit road at the moment. Nate Maurer still staying out on the racetrack with a lot of other drivers as well. Chris Darling in the chat saying goodbye Kitty, referring to Hello Kitty, which is on the car for the 47 of Tellier, who is going to really lose a lot of track position because of that. We'll see where he cycles out. But this season's season opener winner, Mike Tellier, really struggling there as race leader Nate Maurer down pit road, going to turn it over to the 14 of Jeff Price.
Well, and look for this cycle to come out. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Adam overtake Nathan as he pitted, I believe, 2 laps before Nathan did. So let's see how this cycles out. I know that little bit of difference in those 2 laps will make a lot of time up on the track.
I believe, Chris, that Nick was running just outside the top 5, around 6th or 7th. Well, there it is, 9th. Taz knows better than I do, definitely.
Yeah, I was going to say he was like 10th or 11th, so that's probably right on.
Well, Jeff Price continues to stay out on the racetrack. So does the Simbox Racing machine of Doug Neal. Those two run 1-2 on track at the moment. You see the 17 of Pettit right there in the Anything You See machine trying to get his lap back. Of course, once these drivers pit out of the lead, he will be back on the lead lap. Nate Maurer going to come out of pit road behind the 17 of Pettit. There you go. Nate Maurer lost that position in pit road, so Pettit could be your race leader when things cycle back through.
Yeah, that's a big difference there that he gained 2 on pit road. That's going to be tough for Nathan to make up. I mean, he's not too far back. I'm guessing about 2 seconds, but those tires, it takes a while before they really show a difference. Once they do, it's a big difference, but right now that was a pretty smart move by Pettit. You got Jason Gracias right behind Nathan, too. He's looking really fast. He's going to get right up on his bumper and look to make a move here.
Yeah, here we will look at that battle here on track as the 88 of Noah Owens and the 19 of Christopher Thompson you saw go down pit road here. Coming to take lap 47 are the race leaders, showing 46 because these drivers we're looking at now are 1 lap down, and it likes to let us know where they are running instead of your race leader. But you see Maurer kind of scooting away just a little bit now from the 1 of Gracias. Got a good drive here as more drivers down pit road now. The 95, Alexander Kerfan, Stephen Lachensky, and Patrick Morrison gonna pit at this time in the race, so that leaves just a handful of drivers now. Jeff Price down pit road. Your race leader comes down pit road, the 77 of Doug Neal. will now continue to stay out. We'll see if anybody else decides to come down. Yes, the 97 Brock Salvati looking to make his pit road entrance, but Jason Hsu stays out. Your Super Speedway Series champion, Max Graphics Super Speedway Series champion. Jason Hsu stays out on the racetrack, running second now. Him and Doug Neal, the only drivers yet to make their pit stops, as here comes Doug Neal.
Yeah, that's a really interesting strategy by Doug. I'm not sure if he was hoping for a caution there or what exactly he was trying to do, but if this thing goes green from here on out, he's going to have lost a ton of time and not really be in the contention for probably even a top 5. So he's probably counting on a caution here once this pit cycle gets through and he gets back out on track to see where he's sitting, but going to lose a lot of time here from those guys that have already pitted. I just don't think there's enough time in the race for, if it were to stay green, for him to make that time back even with some fresher tires.
Yeah, he has been out on track 36 laps now on this set of tires. I believe he was one of those drivers who had pitted under the one caution we've had so far here tonight in the Anything EC 120. Jason Hsu, only driver on track right now who has yet to pit, and now there are other drivers on track on the same lap, including Adam Pettit in the 17 machine, who is running second place. So Pettit did win the battle on pit road, assuming that a caution doesn't come out before Hsu pits. Adam Pettit is going to cycle back to be your race leader as well. So Pettit, then Gracias, then Nate Maurer. So Nate Maurer drops 2 spots in pit road, not going so well for last week's race winner.
Yeah, and for Adam, he gained about 4 seconds overall by pitting when he did versus Jason and Nathan. He was in second, about a second back, and he came out 3 seconds ahead of Jason and Nathan. So that strategy really played well. He just needs to make sure he doesn't cook those tires too soon. He's running that high lane, taking care of them real well. But he put himself in a really good position for this race if it stays green from here on out.
Yes, he did right now, and he has a 3-second lead over Jason Gracias, so that looking really good for Pettit in the 17. We'll have to, again, continue to wait and see as the 3 machine continues to stay out. There is a little logic to staying out at least a couple laps, because here in the NSRA, they do get a bonus point for leading a lap during the race. So if Hsu had stayed out 1 lap and then led that lap, he would have scored a bonus point. But then the difference being he did not come down pit road afterward. He has continued to stay out on track, and he ran low down the back straightaway. Will he come down pit road this time? Yes, he will. The 3 of Jason Hsu down pit road, 39 laps into the run, turning the race lead over to Adam Pettit, the winner of Homestead Miami Speedway, the only other 1.5 miles of the season. Pettit showing strong here on the 1.5 mile tracks. Of course, just under 30 laps to go. That's still plenty of time for something to happen here. That's almost half race distance. So a lot could happen, but for now, it's the 17 at a pretty opportune position at the front of the pack.
Yeah, he's doing really well. He's actually pulling away from the second and third as well. He's not just maintaining the gap. So he definitely knows what he's doing on these 1.5 miles. I was looking back through the rest of the field just to do a quick update on Mike Tellier. He is sitting in the 14th position. So he lost about, I believe, 7 spots overall after that mishap on pit road. So not as bad as I thought. He's not in danger of going a lap down. He's about 20 seconds back, but he's making his way through traffic pretty well, and has a real chance to crack his way into the top 10 here in the next 10 laps or so. So bad mistake, but good recovery. He definitely made the right decision by staying out instead of taking that speeding penalty. And he's fast. I mean, he was running up front all race long, so look for him to try to make his way through this track position pretty quickly, as now he's under fire by the 90, or I believe that's the, looks like 95, who is actually a lap down.
Yes, the 95.
Yep. Oh, no, he's not.
No, he
I'm
is
sorry.
not scoring.
It just wasn't updating on the scoring, yeah. So now he falls back to 14th, and Alexander Kerfon, who has been running pretty well, we've seen him up there in the top 10 a little bit tonight, is, now that I said something about Mike, he's fallen like a rock. He just lost another spot to the 77 of Doug Neal. These guys probably have some fresher tires than he does, because he was one of the first people to try to pit. But he was looking good there for a minute, as now you can really see the difference in the tires, as he is back in 15th now and trying to hold tight.
Yeah, Hello Kitty is quite a few apples behind race leader Adam Pettit. If we assume one apple is about 1/100th of a second, that Hello Kitty is about 2,000 apples off the race lead. That's a lot of apples, but up to 10th place Julian Tesoro, it's only about 300 apples, excuse me. So that's a little bit more reasonable. If Hello Kitty can start eating some of those apples away from the 92 of Tesoro, she might get up there and crack a top 10 finish with plenty of time left to do it as well. But Adam Pettit losing some time to Jason Gracias. Lost about almost a second to Gracias since the last time we checked in. And you see it there, last time by was a tenth slower. We'll see this time how it goes for the 17 of Pettit.
Nathan and Jason are hooked up. They need to stay together and work as teammates to try to catch Adam Pettit. They're getting that draft off of each other and really helping each other on the straightaways. So if they can continue to stay hooked up like this, they should gain a tenth or two every lap on Adam, who does not have any help around him, and he is just cutting through the air all by himself, has no help. So look for Jason and Adam to probably work together here. I'm not seeing anything on the microphones or the radios, but if I'm one of them, I'm working with each other and I'm trying to catch that leader. They just did it again. They're down to 2.5 and 2.7, so they're definitely making up significant ground. I'm sure they see that, and they're probably thinking the same thing I am.
Yeah, of course, there's now a little bit of a separation formed between Nate Maurer and Jason Gracias. About 0.3 of a second separate them, or as we've established tonight, 30 apples between those two race cars. I think we'll have to carry that through the rest of the season here on the World Racing Network, but Pettit still lost just a little bit of time here out in front in the race lead, but we've seen all season long that 17 very fast, knows how to save the tires. He could just be backing it up a little bit to save the tires because he's got 21 laps left in the run. But I think now, while we have a little bit of a run here and the 17 car is leading the race, I think it's a very good time to tell you a little bit about tonight's race sponsor, anythingec.com. Again, they are linked down in the video description if you're on YouTube, so go check them out. They put out a lot of great products, and they gave me a little information about themselves to tell you all too. Anything EC is a detailing supplies distributor founded in 2021 in Florida by Alan Kozier and Sean Kozier. It was originally a drop shipping company but decided to switch over to detailing supplies. They currently only ship to North America, but if you are not in North America, send them an email and they will discuss more about it with you, as they want to expand worldwide. They sell things, anything and all things car related. Again, check out their website, anythingec.com, which is also linked in the video description, along with all the other sponsors of the National Sim Racing Association. Of course, Beer Street Journal sponsors the series, title sponsor of the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series, as well as a lot of other great sponsors here. Got Max Graphics, Stay Tuned Sports, Simbox, Brookstone Animal Hospital. We've given one of those Brookstone Animal Hospital Lucky Dog Awards away tonight. Also have Taz Racing Customs. That Taz Racing Customs machine running in the top 5 right now as well, which we'd love to see. And then J&R Craftworks and Eclipse Photography. It does a great job taking pictures of the races. Those are all the people who help make this series possible every week, and of course you all out in the chat make this possible for us every week. We've got Rich Sobel saying, as long as they don't wreck and make applesauce, we're all right. I don't know, I assume applesauce came somewhere from the apples. Of course, we've got Will Radcliffe saying suddenly feels like eating an apple, and I guess if you're in the chat, you know, what's your favorite kind of apple? That's the real question. I'm a Honeycrisp guy myself. How about you, Tyler?
Apples are apples to me. I don't really have a preference. I was watching this battle for a second a few laps ago. Nathan made an aggressive move after Jason slipped up a little bit, and he actually completed the pass but got crossed right back over, and that cost him a little bit of time to Adam Pettit. They've dropped back to about 2.5 seconds. They're working their way up slowly now, but they're not making up near the amount of ground every lap that they were before they got side by side for that entire lap. So be curious to see if they can hook back up and try to track down Adam, but it's looking pretty good for him now as we're crossing the line to 15 to go.
Yep,
they made a lot of ground up right there, though. Wow, a lot of ground.
Yeah, they're only 1.5 seconds back now. They are making up a lot of time on race leader Adam Pettit. We could see a pretty good battle start to form here in the closing laps of the Anything EC 120 at Kansas Speedway. Fastest car on track last lap, we'll give him a shout out, is Jason Shue in the number 3. Runs 1 lap down after the pit strategy staying out, but Jason currently the fastest car on the racetrack that last time by, so a lot of speed in the 3, just the strategy not there for him tonight. Rich Sobel enjoys a Fuji apple. I don't know that I've ever had a Fuji apple. Stay Tuned Sports says green apple with a little salt on it. I've also never tried salt on an apple. I've never heard of that one. Maybe I'll have to do it, Stay Tuned Sports.
Yeah, that sounds like my dad with watermelon. He likes putting salt on watermelon. I never quite understood that. But as we cross the line here on lap 68, Adam Pettit only now has a 1.3 second lead. They only needed to take a tenth off of him each lap with 15 to go, and they've done that so far. If they do that, they'll be there at the end. Got a little bit of lap traffic to deal with, but nothing too bad. Jason, little bit of struggle getting around that lap car there at the 38. He's now up into the wall, but it shouldn't cause a problem. It did allow Nathan, though, to get below him. That's really not what these guys want to do right now. They want to stay right in front of each other, get in the line, use that draft, and get up there to Adam. After that lap, they're about the same distance, 1.3 and 1.5 back. So they need to organize. If they want to make this a three-way battle and give either one of them a shot, they're going to have to stay in line like this and try to track down Adam.
Yeah, and I think Nate Maurer realizes that a little bit as you saw him back off of the number 1 of Jason Gracias, settled in back behind him, and currently still running him down out front. Not as much the last time by because they got held up, like you said, but Jason Gracias was fastest car on track the last time by. So this time by, it's jumped down to the little bit further in the pack, running 18th, 22, Steven Lachensky fastest car. But yeah, these two, they're doing a good job, but not making quite as much headway as they were. Jason Gracias 1.2 seconds behind race leader Adam Pettit. That's not much gain from where they were a couple laps ago. So like you said, they've got to keep the pace up here if they want a chance at catching this 17. You kind of see the gap between the one.
They got 10 to go now, and they're gonna have to pick up more than a tenth a lap to get there. I just don't think Nathan is quite close enough to Jason to get that push down the straightaways. When he went to shoot low and he checked up a little bit, he got a little too far away from the bumper of Jason, and I think that's costing them a little bit of time here.
Riding on board with Jason Gracias, you see that car out in front of his windshield is the 17 of Adam Pettit. Looks so close, but that's 1.2 seconds on the racetrack, and that's really going to be hard for Jason to make up at this point because that 17 has been able to back off a little bit and save his tires, and I think that's showing a little bit now. He's kicking it into gear a little bit more as they got closer, but the gap now under 1 second between your top two drivers.
What's going to happen now is Jason's going to start to catch the draft of the 17, and that's going to make a big difference here. He's going to get right in the tracks of the 17, try to follow him all the way around, and use that draft to pull up onto him. Nathan's losing a little bit of ground to Jason, and I think that's definitely because Jason's starting to get in the wake of Adam's draft. So I think we're going to have ourselves a pretty good fight for the lead here at the end of this race if Jason can just keep it steady and keep running his line to follow Adam in his tracks.
Yeah, Jason Gracias doing all he can right now in the second position, but he's only got 8 laps to do it here. 7 laps when they cross the line right there.
He's catching him, though. He's getting about a tenth a lap. It's going to come right down to the wire. The closer he gets, the more draft he's going to start pulling off Adam. We're going to have ourselves a battle here at the end.
It is definitely going to come down to the wire, whether the one of Jason Gracias is going to be able to catch the 17
Oh, he
of
slides
Pettit.
up into the wall. Oh, man, he's going to lose a lot of time there. That's probably gonna outdo it for him. He's probably gonna be back to a second behind now. That's real unfortunate. We were gonna see ourselves a really good battle there, but he was just pushing real hard. He knew he had to go and make up every little bit he could, and pushed it a little too hard there.
Yeah, he gathered it up. He's still doing okay. Lost about a tenth on that lap, but right now the one machine still hanging in there behind Adam Pettit. We'll see if any damage got done to that race car, though, when he got up into the wall. I think that's the big thing to worry about if you are the one of Jason Gracias. Of course, Gracias comes into tonight's race. Here he's had a good start to the season.
He's doing really good at keeping that car all the way up against the wall there, but I think he just lost a little bit of too much time and momentum when he got into it. He's probably a little frustrated behind the wheel now, knowing how much he was catching him. Probably feels like he blew that opportunity a little bit. They're coming around now. We'll see if he's taking any time off of this time, but they got 4 to go. I just don't think there's going to be enough time now. Yeah, he's losing time.
Fastest car that lap was the 17 of Adam Pettit by over a tenth of a second. Riggs Racing said it in the chat there. The 17 is on rails. Gonna be hard for anyone to catch him. 4 laps to go at Kansas, and the 17 now the fastest car on the racetrack. Jason Gracia is still about a second behind. He's got to start really reeling in that 17. Of course, 2 wide lap traffic in front of him. Not what he wants to see here down the front straightaway. 3 laps to go.
He definitely doesn't want to see that. He wants them to get single file so he can make his move. Preferably stay on the low line since he's running that high lane. But that could make things a little interesting here. I imagine they're going to sort themselves out just fine, though. And Adam's going to cruise to this victory if there's no crazy circumstances that come along.
Well, we will have to wait and see as they do continue to race side by side in front of the number 17 of Adam Pettit. 2 laps to go this time, but Jason Grassi is still being held at bay about a second back. As here goes the 17 of Pettit looking up underneath the 97 machine, I believe it is. Yes, the 97 of Brock Salvati and the 22 machine here as well of Steven Lachensky. That is who the 17 is working his way around right now, side by side with the 97, still into turn 3. The 97 not letting your race leader go, but Jason Gracias not able to take advantage of it in the second position as he's got his hands full of Nate Maurer as the white flag in the air. 1 lap to go here in the Anything EC 120.
Yeah, pretty good race run here by Adam. He hasn't really had to worry about anything ever since he pitted those couple laps early on that last green flag cycle. And I just don't see anything that Jason's going to be able to do. He's just too far back after hitting that wall and all of his momentum. So tough break for him, but second place is still good. You can't complain about that.
Yep, second place. Definitely nothing to be ashamed of here in the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. But first place for this man, Adam Pettit, gonna take home the win in the Anything EC 120. Kind of fitting that the driver with the race sponsor on the car gonna take home the win here today. It was a great run for Pettit in the 17. Jason Gracias and Nate Maurer put on a show for second, as you see Nate Maurer come to give a little congratulatory bump to your race winner, Adam Pettit. Nate finished in third and Jason Gracias finished in second place. But once again, great race here in the NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. Great run for Adam Pettit. Goes 2 for 2 on the 1.5 miles here this season. This driver definitely won. Already showing championship contention in that number 17.
Yeah, I imagine he'll definitely be one to keep an eye out once they get down to the playoffs. Looking at the end of the season, definitely is good on these 1.5 miles. There's no denying that, as he's burning it down.
Yep, we'll let Adam Pettit do his celebratory burnouts, and we will be right back here on the World Racing Network with interviews from your top 3, Adam Pettit, Jason Gracias, and Nate Maurer. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back live here on the World Racing Network. We've got some post-race interviews here for you. Gonna start things off talking with the driver who finished third tonight, Nate Maurer. Mitchell Adams in the WRN booth. You got a copy?
I got you, guy. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
No, I feel pretty good. Yeah, I'm happy. I never thought I would have finished P3 behind the two best here in the league, but I did it, so I'm happy with that tonight.
Yeah, well, it was a great showing for you here in your Simbox racing machine. We saw you up leading a lot of laps here in the early going, and of course, coming off the win last week. Was the strategy kind of to stay out and wait a little bit longer? Because we saw you do it again this week. Didn't quite work out for you, but was it the reason you were doing it because it worked out for you last week?
No, I I really thought that we get a caution. I thought maybe half the field was going to stay out there, and you get the faster guys going around, and sometimes the slower cars that haven't pitted yet kind of think the guy on faster tires or better tires are going to go one way, and they end up going the wrong way and causing a wreck. But then my one teammate said that everybody but 8 people pitted, so I was like, up too late now. I knew I pitted probably 2 laps too late there, but yeah, I kind of just let Jason get around me there, and I just kind of trying to learn something from him. And because after that first caution flag, he had like a second and a half lead over second place. I was like, I'm going to try learning something from him, and I thought maybe my 2-lap fresher tires and him here at the end would have paid off, but nope. I tried running the low line there towards the end there, just didn't work out. But congrats to him and congrats to Adam tonight.
You still had a great battle going for the second place position there at the end of the race, and you talked about running the low line and not really working out. We saw drivers kind of go all over the racetrack tonight. I know Kansas typically goes high line dominant, but how was that inside out there tonight?
You asking how the inside was?
Yeah.
I don't know. I ran a bunch of officials this week at Kansas, and yeah, guys running both, and I ran the inside here tonight the first run, and I didn't really I thought my tires were pretty bad, so I was like, the second run I'm going to run high, and I'm just going to do whatever Jason did. I think it's good to learn off of guys that are better than you, so that's just kind of what I did, and I seen how much he was backing up the entry there on the top, and I think it felt like it paid off here at the end. We caught Adam knocked down some, but I feel like maybe he was saving for us to get closer because he kind of stopped the nose bleeding when it got down to about a tenth and a half. I was behind him and just couldn't do anything else. And but yeah, I don't know. I felt like the inside just wasn't where it was tonight.
Yeah, well, still third place again. Great run for you. You've had a good start to the season here. 1 win already. Next week we're off, but then we go to Michigan 2 weeks from now. You like Michigan?
Yeah, but it's just another super speedway. I feel like it's anybody's race. So I like it, but I'm sure we'll probably get taken out somehow because, like I said, it is a super speedway race. But we're about to see what happens.
Well, I've known you, Nate, to be pretty good on the super speedway, so I expect to maybe get to talk to you again there. I don't want to give you the curse. We'll have to wait and see, of course, 2 weeks from now on the World Racing Network. But before we let you go, do you want to give any shout outs?
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to all my teammates here tonight. Justin, Bryce, Ben Mashburn was in there, and also I forget who I said. No, Doug Neal, yeah. Simbox, you need a bum box, hit up Simbox PC on Facebook. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to the guys that are running this league and everything. My first season in here. I love the Xfinity cars. I love the green flag racing going on here. So what they're doing, it's going pretty good. And a shout out to the new race control guy. Very, very professional. Very, very good guy up there.
Well, thank you for stopping by and talking with us, Nate. Again, congratulations on a strong run here tonight, and best of luck to you moving forward.
Have a good week, guys.
You too. That was Nate Maurer, who finished third place here tonight in the Anything EC 120 at Kansas. And now I believe Tyler is caught up with second place finisher Jason Gracias.
Hey, Jason. Well, first of all, congratulations on finishing P2. We were watching you there pretty closely at the end after that last cycle of green flag pit stops, and it looked like you and Nathan Maurer were doing a good job at working with each other to stay single file, and you guys caught the winner tonight of Adam Pettit pretty quickly. I thought with 10 laps to go, you guys were catching him about a tenth a lap. I thought you were going to have a shot. We saw with about 8 to go, it looked like he slid up and brushed the wall a little bit. Did the car change after that, or was there just not enough time with how hard you were trying to push to catch him?
There was not enough time. Adam Pettit drove a great race. He played strategy to a T. So kudos to him. That run for the first, I don't know, 20-ish laps, I was saving. And with 20 to go, I turned up the wick a little bit. And as I turned up the wick, I was burning out off the right rear. So I was trying to use that to my advantage and trying to arc it in the turn so it can rotate all the way through the turn. And I just pushed it over the edge just a little bit twice. And I think that's what ultimately got me at the end of there. I got it within 6/10, so I mean, not too bad for only using one set of tires.
Yeah, it definitely looked like you were going to get there. There was a few times, though, that you did come under fire with Nathan. He was giving you a pretty good run there for a second. If you had gotten up to Adam, what was your strategy to try to get around him?
Slide job.
Good old-fashioned slide job.
Yeah, I don't know, honestly. High side was king, especially on old tires. I don't know. I mean, if I could, I guess if I got up to him, I could probably try to force a mistake, force him to mirror drive a bit, but who knows? Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Second place, still decent. I got to talk to you guys, so today's a good night.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again on your second place finish. Do you got any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, thanks to NSRA and Beer Street Journal for this fabulous series. If you guys need some beer selections, go check out beerstreetjournal.com. They need to get some local Delaware brews on there. So if you guys see some suggestions, hit me up. I'll give you 1 or 50 local brews that you should try out. Thanks to Chris Darling and Max Graphics for always painting my cars on it and giving me, in my opinion, the best looking car on track. Thanks to 3Y World Racing Network for the broadcast. And yeah, it's and thanks to Anything EC for sponsoring this race. It really helps with the league. I run another league, so anytime you have a race sponsor, it really helps offset league costs. So if you guys need detailing supplies, go check out anythingec.com.
Sounds good, man. Well, again, congratulations, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Yep. See you guys.
All right, that was your second place finisher here tonight, Jason Gracias. Forgot to click over to Jason Gracias. I'm sorry, Jason. Here he is in the number one machine. Time to talk to tonight's race winner, Adam Pettit, driver of the number 17. Man, another great run for you here tonight. Just take us through it.
Honestly, I am very lucky to be here in Victory Lane tonight. I pounded the wall on lap 2, and I thought my race was over. That was the only reason I pit there under that first caution. I think if I was up front, I probably would have followed what like the top 10 did and just stay out. But it all worked out in my favor tonight. And then once I was able to see Jason be able to stay up front or towards the front with old tires, my plan was to do whatever he did. And he called out he was pitting, so I did the same thing and was able to get a good jump there on him and Nathan. And then I was kind of battling some lap cars there kind of towards the end, and I don't know how to run the top lane as efficient as some, so I was just kind of biding my time thinking that, okay, they're going to catch me and get around me, and I'll just settle for third. But they seemed to they were able to catch me, but they were kind of struggling as well. So I'll definitely take it tonight.
Well, I'd take a win anytime. Your second win of the season. It's been good on the 1.5 miles for you. One Homestead, one here at Kansas, is this just a strong suit track for you? I know we've seen you fast at the short tracks and everywhere really, but is there just something about the mile and a half that's better for you?
Yeah, the mile and a halfs are definitely my favorite kind of tracks. Just um they they really have you, to be good at them, you have to be patient on throttle, and you got to be really smooth with your inputs. I mean, obviously that's for all tracks, but it really shows on mile and a half kind of tracks, and that fits my driving style pretty well. And so they are definitely my favorites.
Yeah, well, we'll have to get off of them on the next race. We have an off week, but then we go to Michigan, 2 miles. It's a little bit longer, but kind of a similar style. What are your thoughts about Michigan?
I enjoy Michigan. It can definitely be tricky on cold tires, so I just got to remember to be patient on corner exit and kind of get through the first couple laps, and hopefully I can do pretty well there. I kind of go in with the mindset of just a solid, top 10 finish, no major mistakes on my part, not getting caught up in directs because this is a marathon. I got 2 wins. That's great, but as we all know, you got to be there at the end of the year. So just trying to use every race as kind of a little stepping stone, learn a little bit more, and just have solid finishes.
Well, I think you've definitely shown a lot of speed, and you've done a great job here in the early going, and I think you'll be definitely a contender through the rest of the season. But before we let you go, any shout outs you want to give? I know you've got our race sponsor on your car too, so if you want to talk a little bit about them.
Yeah, big shout out to Sean and Alan Kozier over there at Anything EC. They sell awesome car care products. I've bought many myself and use them on my truck. I actually bought their fabric cleaner that comes from the leather repair company and used it on the steering wheel that I raced tonight and cleaned it up really well. And I kind of do it every, I don't know, a couple weeks or so just to kind of maintain it. But whether you're looking for ceramic coatings, leather repair kits, there's tons of different things. So head on over to anythingec.com and use code Pettit, Pettet 15 to get 15% off your entire order.
I might go check them out here after the race with 15% off. I typed the wrong code in the chat. I'll do that again. But yeah, again, thanks for stopping by, man. Congratulations on your second win of the season. Best of luck going forward into Michigan. I will probably get to talk to you again at some point with the way you've been going here in the early part of the season.
Hopefully. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.
All right, that was your race winner tonight in the Anything EC 120 at Kansas. Adam Pettit comes home with his second win of the season. It was a great run for him tonight, Tyler.
Oh, sorry, I was muted up there, trying to make sure I didn't make any background noise. But yeah, it absolutely was a great run. Everybody did a great run tonight. I mean, only one caution through an 80-lap race at Kansas. That's pretty impressive in my book.
Yeah, great race. As always, these drivers here in the NSRA Beer Street Journal Grand National Series do an incredible job each and every week, putting on some good shows for us. And we'll run you through your finishing order here tonight from the Anything EC 120 at Kansas. Of course, it was Adam Pettit picking up the race win. Jason Gracias finished second, and Nate Maurer finished third. We talked with all three of them, and then it was Jeff Price in the 14. I know Jeff Price was out in chat saying he finally broke his bad luck streak. Definitely fourth place, a great run for Jeff Price. Started 15th, so plus 11. Certainly a good day. Then it was Nick Kessler in the Taz Racing Customs machine finishing in 5th. Josh Sobel finished 6th. Philip Scott came home in 7th. Alexander Kerfan 8th. Justin White 9th. And Julian Tesoro rounds out your top 10.
I'm sorry, I do not have that pulled up anymore. If you can go ahead and finish it, I apologize.
Certainly, I can keep it going here. I also jumbled up some finishing order. Doug Neal finished in 10th, and then it was Julian Tesoro. I don't know why I read that wrong. Then it was Noah Owens finishing 12th, and 13th was Bryce Hunter. 14th was Ben Mashburn. 15th, Mike Floppy Tellier. Still couldn't make up all those apples. Came home with a solid top 15, though. Then it was Brock Salvati finishing 16th. Steven Lachensky 17th. Jason Shue 18th. Chris Wheeler 19th. Patrick Morrison rounded out your top 20 here tonight. Then it was Sam Kohlhaas, Christopher Thompson, Ira Kohlhaas, Matt Donnelly in the 24 machine, or in the 41 finishing 24th, excuse me, and Daniel Anderson rounded out your 25 car field here tonight in the 25th position. And that takes you through your finishing order for the Anything EC 120. It was a great race. We hope you all enjoyed it here out in the chat. Again, next week the series is off, but then in 2 weeks we come back at Michigan for what should be another great race, Tyler.
Yeah, I definitely am looking forward to it. Michigan's one of my favorite tracks, so we'll see what those boys are able to do. I imagine it'll be some pretty good racing, kind of like a super speedway, like you were saying, a cross between that and a 1.5 miles. So can't wait to see what they can do there and see if we can get another long green flag race.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to it here on the World Racing Network. We hope you all out in the chat will join us as well. And again, thank you to all the sponsors of the Beer Street Journal Grand National Series. We've got to go through them one more time here. Of course, Beer Street Journal sponsors the series, and anythingec.com for sponsoring tonight's race. Again, go check out their link down in the video description to see all the products they have, and all the other sponsors are linked down there as well. Max Graphics, Stay Tuned Sport, Simbox, Brookstone Animal Hospital, Taz Racing Customs, J&R Craftworks, and Eclipse Photography all help make racing possible here in the National Sim Racing Association. So big thank you to all of them. But for all of us here at the World Racing Network, I'm Mitchell Adams, my co-host Tyler Belanger. Thank you all for tuning in, and until we see you at Michigan in 2 weeks, stay safe, have fun, and we will see you.